Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, at Great Homes Tampa Bay, and today we're doing real estate market statistics for Pinellas County. I know, it's exciting. It's thrilling. Astute viewers might notice that the background is a little bit different, and yeah, I'm trying something new, just seeing if this works a little bit better, if this makes things a little bit easier. The previous one might have looked cool, but definitely a little more difficult to set up. So if you like the change, let me know. Leave me a comment down below. So the overall trend that we've been having this year has been constricting inventory, lower and lower inventory, with prices climbing or holding moderately steady with very modest gains, like the 1 or 2%. For a few months, we had growing inventory where there was actually more homes coming on the market than were selling, which I did mention that I was going to pay attention to and let y'all know if that trend continued to develop or if it was just a little bump. What I've been seeing for the last month or two is that that trend has stopped and we are back on the main course now. The main course being fewer and fewer houses available for sale and prices climbing. So the days of prices holding relatively steady seem to be past, and we are certainly in a climb yet again here. So just to jump in here, I am going to read some numbers. We'll throw up some images here just to make it a little bit easier for you to follow along and see. Again, if you want your own copy of this to follow along, I'll be happy to email it to you. Just hit that link in the description, and I will be happy to email you one of these every month. One thing I do have to explain about these numbers is that these numbers are not comparing month to month, so we are not comparing July 2019 to June 2019. We are actually comparing July 2019 to July 2018. And the reason we do that is because just during the year, the real estate market has a natural up and down cycle. Here in Florida, it tends to follow the school year, so you're going to have month to month. If school is just about to go into session, usually there's not as much activity as say like the summertime months or springtime when everyone's looking to start something new. So just remember that these numbers are comparing July 2019 to July 2018. So July 2019, the number of closed single-family homes in Pinellas County rose 8.6% to 1,298. So there was 8.6% more homes sold in Pinellas County for July 2018 compared to the previous year. Median sales price is up 8.7% to $271,750. Anything that's outside of, say, plus or minus 5%, I do usually pay especially close attention to, just because that does indicate a pretty strong trend, especially when you're dealing with this amount of numbers. So the median sales price did go from $250,000 to $271,000 and some change. That is definitely a significant jump. And for those of you who don't remember, what median sales price is that's basically the midpoint. So averages is you add everything up and divide it by the number of homes that sold. Median home price basically says that the same number of houses are above this price point as are below this price point. So they're definitely not the same number because the average definitely gets skewed by our large amount of waterfront that we have here. Just the natural higher price really yanks everything up for the average home price. So what is the average home sales price currently? So for July 2019, average sales price is up 12.6%, which is very significant, to $361,055. So that is a very large jump. Dollar volume, which is basically the sum of every single family home sold in Pinellas County, is up 22.3% to $468 million. That's almost $500 million of real estate transacted in Pinellas County in 1 month. That is crazy. And that's only single family homes. We're not talking about townhomes or condos or mobile homes or anything like that. This is strictly single family homes. That is a crazy number. By comparison, Hillsborough County has way more land mass and way more people, and they only did $667 million. So yeah, the Pinellas real estate market is hot. Median time to contract, which basically says how long has a house been on the market before a offer is made and accepted, is currently sitting at 28 days, which is an increase of 27.3%. So things are hanging around a little bit longer than they used to, but when they do sell, they are selling for a higher price. The last few ones that I like to look at for the entire market is inventory. So the trend has been constricting inventory, which is fewer and fewer homes for sale. We did have a little bit of a bump where there were actually more new listings coming on the market than were actually selling. So we were having more houses. That trend apparently has stopped and reversed now. So we're back to fewer and fewer houses for sale again. So the number of new listings is actually up 1.6% to 1,333 new listings. But the total number of active listings, which is the number of houses available for sale, is actually down 6.2% to 2,929 homes. So there's 6% fewer houses for sale this year than they were last year. And that is continuing the overall trend of the last few years of just fewer and fewer houses for sale. And then the last number, which is month supply of inventory, which is basically just kind of gauges the health of the market. So what that is you take the total number of homes that are available for sale. We don't add any new listings to that. And then we figure out at the current rate of sales, how long would it take to run through the number of homes that are actively for sale. And that is currently down 7.1% to 2.6 months. Now, all of these things are very broad. Real estate is definitely a very specific industry. So far as location goes, is going to have a big impact on this. And then the other thing is going to be the price points. Like houses in the luxury segment, like $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 and above, are definitely going to sell at different time rates than something that is $200,000 and $300,000. So I always like to check the various price points and fill you in and just see what those trends are doing currently. So I don't usually dive deep on the median time to contract broken out by price point, just because honestly median time to contract is kind of a boring metric. And there's a lot of vagaries in there. It depends, like, are the houses good that are coming on the market, or are they dumps? Like, people naturally, they don't want to buy project houses, so there's a lot of wiggle in there for how this works. But there was some pretty significant moves, and I thought they were worth mentioning here. The biggest one is going to be in the $100,000 to $150,000 range. That has, the time that those properties have been sitting on the market increased 171.4% to 38 days, which is crazy. I have not read any stories about why that might be. That is certainly a price that many people are wanting to buy. My intuition is telling me that at that price point, people are not seeing enough value to purchase, because the price point certainly is great. The problem is what they're looking at is probably, something that needs a lot of work. Like, there's a lot of stuff that needs a lot of work, or like the layout's weird, or like So, but 171% increase in time to contract is certainly significant. And that trend does continue for up to about the $250,000 mark. Certainly not that strong, but so in the $200,000 to $250,000 range, time to contract is up 26% to 24 days. $150,000 to $200,000, that's up 60% to 24 days. So these are pretty big numbers. So these price points are not moving as fast as they should. And as a realtor, it is a very difficult conversation to have with a seller, because obviously they want to sell for the most money possible. But when stuff just sits, like, it's not going to sell. Like, there's so real estate's all about marketing, but there comes a price point. There comes a price where no one is going to be interested in purchasing it. Like, if I showed you a can of Coke and told you it was $50, you'd be like, I'm not going to pay $50 for a Coke. There's only very, very, very few circumstances where that is even remotely possible, and it would probably be tremendously unethical. I'm thinking about somebody in a desert who's dying would probably be the only person willing to pay $50 for one can of Coca-Cola. So that just tells me that if you are thinking about selling your home in that price range, you just need to be very careful with your pricing and giving a realistic assessment to the value of your house and the value that it's showing to potential buyers. Now, so far as new listings, we kind of see that trend continuing here. So below $200,000, there's fewer homes coming on the market just because that price has steadily crept up over the last few years here in Pinellas County. Trying to find a single family home here for under 50 grand is definitely going to be a tough time. There was a total of 3 new listings under $50,000 that were listed that month, and a total of 8 available for sale, which was actually an increase of 60%. So pretty big number, but a selection of 8 is not a large market segment. And as these prices continue to trend, I'm imagining they're pretty much going to do away with that $50,000 range just because it's not real, like there's nothing going on there. So condos, you can still definitely find a lot of condos in that range, in the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 range. So for condos, it makes sense to keep that price point. But for Pinellas County, looking for a single family home, $50,000 or under, you're going to have a tough time. Once you get above $200,000, there's actually been more new listings. So there's more people that have decided to sell their home in those price ranges. So in the 250 to 300 range, there's a total of 210 new listings, which is up 8.2% from $300,000 to $400,000. It's an increase of 10.7% to 248 listings. And that pretty much continues. The luxury segment had a big jump, 30% more new listings, up to 104. So if you're looking above like 250, things have gotten easier, but definitely below that, things have definitely constricted. The other one I always like to look at is the total inventory for each price point. So again, 50,000 and under, there's a total of 8, which is 60% more than last year. But I think everyone can agree that 8 houses for sale in the entire county, not a lot. $50,000 to $100,000 is actually down 44.7% to 42 houses. $100,000 to $150,000, currently 136 houses in that price point, and that's up 18.3% compared to 2018. $150,000 to $200,000 had a drop though. There's 19.3% fewer houses, or 268 for sale. $200,000 to $250,000 is down 4.3% to 379 homes. $250,000 to $300,000 is down 6.5% to 389, and it pretty much just continues flip-flopping like that. There's like one positive number between $400,000 and $600,000 is up 4.7%, and the rest of them are down. So there's more new listings that came on the market 2019 compared to 2018, but more people have bought them or put them under contract. So in total, there's fewer homes for sale compared to 2018. So that explains, the bumps in average and median home prices. Now, the last thing I always like to look at here is the doom and gloom page, which is foreclosures and short sales. So definitely this is a pretty good indicator of the current economic health of the market. There's not really much to be worried about here. Sometimes we get huge percentages, but that's because we're literally dealing with single digits. And if you add like 3 short sales in a month for some reason, it's going to appear to be a huge percentage. In reverse, like if there's a few less, it's going to show up as a huge number. The trend for this has been fewer and fewer every year, and that is continuing here. But I just like to throw these up because some people are always like, well, I'm just going to buy a short sale or foreclosure and get a deal, and there's not that many of them. July 2019, there was a total of 19 foreclosures, which is a drop of 32.1% compared to the previous year. And short sales were down 11.1% to 8, and that means that there was a total of 9 in 2018. So, economic health, we're still doing pretty good. People are still able to pay their mortgages. People aren't distressed or willing to sell for pennies on the dollar. So the day of super steals being very easy to come by have definitely passed. That is the market statistics for Pinellas County for July 2018. If you would like your own copy of these market statistics or the current ones, if you happen to be catching this after August 2019, I'll be happy to send those to you. Just hit that link below, go sign up. I'll be happy to email those to you every month. If you have a comment, if you think the market is overpriced, if you think we're in a bubble, please leave me a comment below with reasons why. I always like hearing people's opinions on this. I promise I'm not mad. I'm not an angry interneter. Although, I will have a discussion with you. But I'd love to hear your opinion, see what you think on the current state of the market. If you need help finding your own great place in Tampa Bay, I'd love to help you out, whether you're looking to buy or sell your home. You can contact me at kyle@sassergroup.com, or there's a link down below in the descriptions. You can click that. It'll make it real easy for you. Please subscribe so you make sure you get this in your inbox as soon as I release them. And I do put out a lot of other good videos, just real estate related stuff, things to look out for, things to help you out, whether you're on the buyer side or the seller side. So thank you so much. My name is Kyle Sasser. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon.